channel. Hope you're doing really well. I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying out a new craft, crocheting. I always had the idea of like starting new hobbies, and you know when you look on Google for hobbies, crocheting is one of them. And I thought it could be something relaxing, so I wanted to try to combine it with the true crime. So I will tell you a true crime story. We're going to be talking about Christopher Wilder today, while I attempt to make an octopus. Originally, salmon pajamas. Should have been this guy, but the instructions are complicated, out of this world for me. And I tried a couple of nights ago to do it, but it's like a different language with the instructions, and maybe one day I'll get it, but I looked on YouTube for something simple. And I'm not very patient, so I like to just try to jump into things and do it. So yeah, I'm trying to make a little octopus, but it looks like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. It just looks like a little alien for right now, but it's cute. You know, I'm trying. This is the head, and hold on, that's the I thought it could be relaxing to listen to this true crime story while also looking at some crocheting. Okay, let's just jump right in. So we're going to be talking about Christopher Wilder. Christopher Wilder originally came from Australia, although his father is American. His father was in the Navy, and Christopher Wilder lived on different Navy bases in different parts of the world, including America. So he's very used to America. But we're going to start in Australia. He seemed to have a pretty normal childhood. Nothing really stood out in his childhood in particular. But when he was about 17 years old, that's when people started to notice that he was off. He would go to the beach in Australia, I believe Sydney, and he would look for beautiful girls. And this one particular day, he told these two teenage boys that he would pay them some money if they could get this one particular girl to come and talk to him, come and meet him at his car. These two teenage boys were like, yeah, sure, easy money. So they convinced a girl to go and talk to Christopher Wilder, and Christopher Wilder convinced her to get into his car, and he took her to somewhere secluded, and then he assaulted her, and she reported it, but there didn't seem to be any heavy consequence for Christopher. He went to therapy. Apparently there he received electroshock therapy. They thought that he would be just fine after this, and that he wouldn't commit any more offenses. The courts agreed, and he was let go and trusted to be a good citizen. Unfortunately, that plan did not work because it did not stop him. He actually, when he was 23 years old, he went on to marry this young woman around his age, and not surprisingly, they were married for about 1 week. Just 1 week. What is this? Oh, let me see. Okay, they were just married for 1 week, and in this week, it seemed that he just caused absolute hell for this girl and her family. You know, obviously they dated before this, so I mean, apparently she found pictures of girls in his car, and she said that he even tried to unalive her, not once but a couple times, and he would hit on his mother-in-law and his sister-in-law, and it got to the point where they decided, okay, let's go and report this guy so something can be done about this. He is not safe, he's very dangerous. So beach in Australia, in this town that never saw any crime really. And at the time, there was this little boy that said that he actually did see a man that fit Chris's description walking with the two girls with his arm around them. Now, what happened is that Chris approached these two girls who were alone. Again, it's a safe area, so typically kids can go out and walk on their own. They were teenagers, and he attacked them with a knife brutally. And while one of the girls was trying to get away, he grabbed that girl and dragged the other one down the beach, where he unalived them, and they were found on the beach. Very, very sad case there. But the police actually interviewed 5,000 men, and Christopher Wilder was one of these 5,000 men, but they never pinned it on him. He got away with this. And he went right back to America. That's where he went, I guess, when things got really hot for him in Australia with this crime. And he went back to America. And again, a couple years later, he came back to Australia, and he was very much still a very dangerous man. He assaulted two other girls, and this time when he assaulted them, the police did actually get him. They booked him, they arrested him, and they let him out on bail. And they had no idea that he was the guy who unalived the two girls just a few years prior. Again, he got away with this, and went right back to America. And so when he was in America, he was dating this girl. They broke up, right? But this girl, it was an abusive relationship. He abused her. Their parents noticed that she had bruises on her body, and they asked her like what was going on, and she kind of told them what was happening or what happened to her. And she went, I think she was in university or something, and she went to the school, and the security officer who she talked to as well was the last person to ever see her alive. Forgive me if you crochet. I am probably doing a horrible job. Again, it's my first time doing this, or just trying this out here. Yeah, the last person to ever see her alive, and I don't think that she was actually found, but it's definitely connected to Christopher Wilder. So he he attacked, assaulted 12 women and unalived 8 of them, and there's quite a few that have never been found. I'm gonna talk a little bit about a couple of the missing, so now it's in the newspapers, it's everywhere, this girl is missing. And it doesn't really stop Christopher Wilder, though. He still takes her and does his like crime sprees and things, but he does feel the heat, so he takes her and Donette to the forest, and Dina Marie Risico is quote-unquote safe in the car, and he takes Donette out, and he tries to strangle her to get rid of her, and she just keeps fighting back. He cannot, he doesn't succeed in what he's trying to do, and like, I'm not succeeding in what I'm trying to do right here. Hold on. And he then takes out a knife and begins to attack Donette. So she's like, I need to play dead. So she plays dead, and Chris Wilder believes that she is actually not alive anymore. So he gets into the car and drives off with Dina Marie just leaving Donette there. And Donette got out of that forest and got some help from somebody on the driving on the street to come and help her. And she was able to go to the hospital, obviously tell what happened, what kind of car he's driving, and now it's like really getting hot for him because now the police have even more information on this guy. But it still didn't slow him down. He took Dina Marie to a shopping mall. There's this woman in her 30s, early 30s, getting out of her car, and Dina Marie approached her. Chris Wilder attacked her, or grabbed her from the back and put her in the car, and he had Dina Marie take her car and follow behind him, and they went to this place where there was this gravel pit, and he stood the woman there and shot her in the back and left her there. It's like he was so compulsive, like he had to do this, you know. After that, he knew that his time was running out, and he didn't want to take Dina Marie Risico down with him. So he took her to the airport. He gave her a bunch of cash and got her an airplane ticket back home to her hometown. He told her, all you have to do, kid, is write a book, and you'll be okay. You'll be good. She got in the airplane, and the first thing that she did when she went back was go to a lingerie store and get some stuff and go shopping in the mall because she was so numb to what just happened. She had no idea how to feel. And then after that, you know, she got back to her family and, you know, to her life, and she said that during that time it seemed that everybody was really praying for her and had such an interest in the case, but after that, like, nobody cared about her anymore, which is really sad to hear. Her life just went back to normal. But as for Chris, the police actually caught him. They noticed his car. He was outside of his car at the time, and when he saw the police, he ran back to his car, and one of the police officers knew that, okay, this guy's probably going to try to take himself out. So Chris got a gun, and this one brave police officer tried to get onto Chris, but wasn't successful, and Chris actually did shoot himself, and in the process shot through himself and the police officer as well. So one of the police officers injured, and Chris is injured but still alive. Then he goes into his car and shoots himself a second time, and this time he successfully unalived himself, and they send him back to Australia, and the police basically said this was like a coward's way out. He should have paid for his crimes, you know. Very crazy story for Dina Marie Risico, just being a teenager. Like, it's just unimaginable, the terror that you must feel. But the way that she was able to keep her emotions in check was only, she said, because of the jobs that she had. It literally saved her from this guy. So yeah, that's the story of Chris Wilder and Dina Marie Risico, and I might be almost done with this octopus. Let me see if I can put it together. What is kind of interesting about this case is that there is this, oh, this is my octopus, by the way. I'm so embarrassed to share it, but, my first time ever crocheting anything, so, this is my octopus. Yeah. Okay. The psychologist basically and